Can BRICS really kill the dollar? It's a question loaded with fear, hype, and headlines. But what if I told you the biggest threat to the US dollar isn't China, Russia, or even the BRICS? No, it's the dollar itself. Some say a new BRICS currency is coming. Others claim the dollar is invincible. And you, like most, just want the truth. So let's be clear from the start. BRICS won't kill the dollar. But that's not the real story. What BRICS is actually doing is far more dangerous to US dominance. They are not aiming for a clean kill. They are building an escape hatch. And the global south is already crawling through it. Today we will explain what is really happening beneath the headlines, hidden mechanics, silent revolutions, and the slow unraveling of dollar dominance. Thanks to the in-depth analysis of China's Wenhua Zhongchang Journal, featuring the work of professors Gao Bai, Ding Yifan, and Paulo Nogueira Batista Jr., top experts on global finance, political economy, and BRICS strategy, whose research reveals what most commentators completely miss. As always, for the curious, you can download the full paper in the description below. By the end of this video, you will understand why BRICS can't replace the dollar, why they are not even trying to, and why the dollar's grip on the world is still slipping away fast. But here is the thing, stories like this rarely get honest, in-depth coverage in mainstream news. And what about alternative media? Often more heat than light. This brings us to our proud sponsor, Ground News. We use it constantly to deliver neutral coverage you can trust. Ground News gives you access to over 50,000 sources globally. It doesn't just report news, it maps media biases and compares coverage angles. Their tools help you spot bias using ratings from trusted organizations. You will discover reporting blind spots through their special blind spot feed. See how stories are framed across the entire spectrum of media voices. Over 2 million people use Ground News now. It's your chance to join them. Our viewers get 40% off their Vantage plan for just $5 a month for unlimited access to every feature. Those subscriptions help keep Ground News ad-free and therefore free of any bias that comes with paid advertising. Check the description, click on this QR code or go to ground.news/thinkbricks to get 40% off and support Ground News. Let's rewind to 2022. The war between Russia and Ukraine started. The West retaliates not just with tanks or trade, but with financial weapons. $300 billion of Russia's reserves frozen. Russian banks cut off from SWIFT. Russian oligarch assets seized, even in so-called neutral Switzerland. Suddenly, the US dollar, long viewed as the safest currency in the world, became a geopolitical tripwire. For China, India, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, and South Africa, the message was simple. Your dollar is only safe if you behave. That scared them. Saudi Arabia alone holds over $100 billion in US treasuries. China holds over 800 billions. What if tomorrow they're the ones out of favor? This wasn't theory anymore. This was a trigger. And it launched the global south into a new era, de-risking from the dollar. Let's address the big fantasy. Every few months, someone floats the idea that BRICS is creating a new global currency backed by gold or oil. Even Russia's President Putin has hinted at it. But here is the truth. It's not happening. Not anytime soon. The political and technical hurdles are enormous. BRICS is not a unified bloc. India wants strategic autonomy, China is cautious, South Africa balances Western ties, and even Brazil under Lula moves slowly on monetary coordination. Beyond politics, the logistics are brutal. To build a functioning currency, you need free convertibility, deep liquid bond markets, a reliable exchange rate mechanism, centralized monetary authority. BRICS has no one of this. The euro took decades to build, even among culturally and economically similar nations. BRICS is trying to do it with countries spread across 4 continents, speaking different languages and often competing for influence. So, will BRICS kill the dollar with a new supercurrency? No. But that's not their play. What BRICS is doing is far smarter than trying to replace the dollar with a single new coin. They are dismantling the system the dollar controls, one piece at a time. The real battle is happening below the surface. Consider this. India and Russia now settle some energy trade in rupees. China and Brazil inked a deal to settle trade in yuan. Saudi Arabia is selling oil to China in renminbi. ASEAN countries are launching local currency frameworks. The point isn't replacing the dollar, it's ending the need of it. In 2023, over 20 countries expressed interest in joining BRICS Plus. Most were from the global south. The reason? They want alternatives: trade without SWIFT, investment without dollar dependency. You can't change global finance with politics alone. You need infrastructure. That's where mBridge comes in. Built by China, Thailand, the United Arab Emirates, and Hong Kong, this multi-central bank digital currency platform is a blockchain-based system that lets countries settle trade in digital currencies directly, instantly, and without SWIFT. In its 2022 trial, $22 million in cross-border payments were processed by 20 commercial banks using digital currencies issued by the participating central banks. This is not theoretical. This is the plumbing of a new global system being laid in real time. And it's designed for a world where the dollar is optional. So, if not a BRICS coin, why not just rally behind the Chinese yuan? Because China doesn't want it. Why? Because making the renminbi a global reserve currency would force China to fully open its capital markets, allow currency convertibility, risk inflation and asset bubbles, lose control of domestic economic levers. That's not how China rolls. As economist Gao Bai puts it, turning the renminbi into a global reserve currency could turn an exorbitant privilege into an exorbitant burden. And they have learned from the United States experience. So instead, China's strategy is targeted. Use renminbi where it benefits China, avoid where it doesn't. This hybrid approach lets them chip away at the dollar without inheriting its liabilities. Still not convinced the dollar will survive? Good. It probably will, for a while, because BRICS doesn't unified enough to replace it. At the 2023 BRICS summit in Johannesburg, India opposed any mention of de-dollarization in the final communique. South Africa refused to even include it on the agenda under US pressure. Meanwhile, Brazil talked big but offered little action. Only Russia, under sanctions, and China, quietly moving, seem fully committed. And then, with the recent expansion of BRICS with Iran, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, and Ethiopia joining in 2024, and Indonesia and the Belt of Partners group in 2025, the challenge of coordination is even harder. Now, it's not just BRICS, it's a united nation of the global south. Consensus will be slow, action will be uneven, but over time, the pressure will build. Let's zoom out. Right now, the US dollar still dominates. 58% of global forex reserves, 88% of forex trades, 42% of SWIFT payments. But those numbers are slipping. In 2001, the dollar made up 71% of reserves. Every year, a little more trade settles in other currencies. The IMF predicts that by 2028, BRICS Plus will account for nearly 38% of global GDP, compared to just 28% for the G7. That economic weight gives leverage. And with enough leverage, you don't need to kill the dollar. You just stop needing it. Here is what most analysts miss. The dollar won't go down in flames. There won't be a grand funeral. Instead, it will fade in relevance, especially in the global south. It will lose its monopoly, not its existence. Think of it. Think of it like Microsoft. Once dominant, still relevant, but no longer the only game in town. That's the future of the dollar. And BRICS is accelerating it, not through revolution, but through evolution. So, can BRICS really kill the dollar? No, but they don't have to. The real danger for the dollar isn't replacement, it's irrelevance. The longer the US uses its currency as a weapon, the more the world finds ways to live without it. And BRICS? They are not building an empire, they are building exits. One bilateral trade deal at a time, one digital ledger at a time, one quiet workaround at a time. And if you think that's not a threat, think again. If this breakdown helped you see the world a little more clearly, if you know anyone who's still stuck in that whole BRICS versus dollar thing, share this with them. Give this video a like and a comment, even just to say hello. It will help more people see it and learn about the BRICS and de-dollarization. Until next time, stay sharp and thanks for watching.